Hello everyone, how are you?
Does this look familiar to any of you?
Some of you have been with me for a long time now, so maybe this might strike your memory.
We're back at the fireplace of a certain founding father.
George Washington's fireplace, everybody! Look, here's a picture of it in the 1940s.
And here it is today, 70 some odd years later. This replica of George Washington's Mount Vernon fireplace was built by Walter Knott and his family, which means
we're back at Knott's Berry Farm.
Oh, Knott's Berry Farm bills itself as America's first theme park because it was started by Walter Knott on his berry farm back in the 1940s.
It all started when Walter Knott wanted to entertain people waiting in line for his wife's chicken dinner restaurant.
He added a few knickknacks, then some paddywhacks, and then he gave the dog a bone
by building his own full-fledged ghost town. This is the beginning of what would become Orange County's oldest full-on theme park.
Knott's Berry Farm was here well before Disneyland, and in fact, Walt Disney
would often cruise on down to Knott's Berry Farm to pick up ideas for his own theme park. This is Ghost Town's 75th anniversary year.
And for the 75th anniversary, they've been having this whole Ghost Town Alive thing with all kinds of live performers and actors here in Ghost Town.
Many of the buildings that basically used to just be large dioramas can now be entered.
And there are humans inside to be interacted with.
It's the first time in a generation that Ghost Town has seen some serious sprucing up, and it's a wonderful tribute to Knott's Berry Farm's history.
Which is why what I'm going to show you next is going to seem slightly out of place given where we're standing.
But don't worry, we'll get back to Knott's Berry Farm in a second. Now those of you who have watched all my Disneyland history videos will recognize what I'm holding in my hand.
This, as you may recall, is a Disneyland ticket book.
Before the early 1980s, admission to Disneyland did not include the rides.
Instead, in the old days in theme parks, what you would do is pay a small amount for admission.
And then, kind of like a county fair, you'd purchase a ticket like this for 10 cents to go on different attractions.
Now the crafty way to sell these was to put them in ticket books where you'd get a variety of different tickets and an admission ticket on the front, which is missing.
Mostly because any Disneyland admission ticket from the beginning of time until now is still good for admission if you have it.
So these old ticket booths that still have the admission ticket are increasingly more and more valuable.
Anyway, I've done videos before about the Disneyland ticket books and the old CBDA tickets.
E-tickets were for like Space Mountain, the big crazy attractions, all the way down to the A tickets, which for like, you know, Main Street vehicle, simple, basic, easy rides.
Things like the carousel and walking through the castle, riding on the fire engine.
These things are pretty dang cool. I can never have enough of the old ticket books or the old Disneyland tickets. They're very, very popular with collectors and people who are into Disneyland history. So these are pretty well known.
Disneyland discontinued the old ticket system in '82 or 1983, right around the time I was born.
But of course my parents, my grandparents, everybody had a lot of old tickets hanging around.
So I've known about the old Disneyland ticket books my entire life. What I did not know up until very, very recently is that Knott's Berry Farm also had ticket books.
Ticket books? Here? That's not possible!
Hang on, this is mind-blowing stuff. I'm gonna need me a drink. Sarsaparilla, please, my dear sir.
Sarsaparilla. Oh, the cap's still on it.
That's okay. I'm pretty manly. Watch as I twist this. I twist. Twist. Delicious sarsaparilla.
It's the good stuff, Mo.
Okay. Alright, I feel better now.
Recently, I was walking around in an antique shop, poking my nose into everything, minding my own business, when I saw a Knott's Berry Farm ticket book.
Don't believe me? Read them and weep.
At first I thought this was another Disneyland ticket book because look at these side by side.
They look nearly identical sitting in a display case.
But this one is in fact a Knott's Berry Farm ticket book.
You see, unlike Disneyland, Knott's Berry Farm used to be free. You see, unlike Disneyland, Knott's Berry Farm used to be free.
In the early days of Knott's, I don't even think that there was a fence. You basically just walked right into Ghost Town. If the shops were open, you could buy something. If you came up to the few attractions they had at Knott's Berry Farm, you would pay for them individually if and when they were open.
But once Disneyland came to town, everything started to change, and Knott's Berry Farm figured, well, if it works for them, it might work for us.
So they fenced off their property and started charging admission.
And I guess they figured since Walt Disney had copied so much from Knott's Berry Farm,
why just take a page out of the Disney playbook? Why not take the whole book and sell ticket books of our own?
So in 1968, the Knott's family hired the same company that was printing Disney's tickets
to print Knott's Berry Farm ticket books.
Now these two ticket books are very, very similar.
The Disneyland one contains this welcome message.
We hope that your visit with us today will be a happy and memorable experience to you and your family. This ticket book is your passport to the many wonderful adventures in the Magic Kingdom. May your day at Disneyland be a pleasant one. Return and visit us again soon. Walt Disney Productions.
What a neat little idea, right? A little welcome message in your ticket book?
Well, if Walt Disney Productions could give you a welcome message, Walter Knott wasn't gonna be outdone.
And the Knott's welcome message would be signed by Walter Knott personally.
Howdy, friend, it says. All of us in the Knott family are very pleased you came a-calling and are proud to have you visit our farm.
We are striving to provide for you a unique experience in eating, shopping, and good old American fun, reliving the days of the old West.
We hope your day will be one you will long remember and you will visit us again real soon. Signed, Walter Knott.
So not only do they have a similar welcome message, but it's a little bit plagiarized there at the end. Hope you visit us again real soon.
This is pretty cool. I believe this ticket book comes from about 1969. So this is the second or third year of them making the ticket booth, 69 or 70. So these are roughly the same age here. These were going on at the same time.
Now Disneyland attraction tickets, if you had an E1 or a D1, those were the craziest, best rides. You know, C was a little milder, B was a little milder, and A was like, Main Street, you can go look at the thing, you know, very simple.
Apparently the Knott's Berry Farm tickets were the opposite. The A ticket was the crazy gold nugget ticket, and the B ticket was the silver dollar, and then down from there.
Now, this is a used one, so this one only has a B ticket in it, so I'm not even sure there were C tickets at this point, but there was at least A, the golden nugget ticket, and B, the silver dollar ticket.
Check this thing out. It's so cool. Look at this on the back. Would you like to receive our famous Christmas gift pack catalog?
All you gotta do is fill out your name and address and you can get a catalog. Oh, I wonder if I mailed this in if they'd send me a catalog. I hope so.
And then of course, the ticket itself. Look at that, Knott's Ghost Town Silver Dollar for fun adventures.
Ooh, there's nothing I love more than fun adventures.
Your choice of one. In Calico Square, the Shooting Gallery. On Museum Lane, Mott's Miniatures. In Fiesta Village, the merry-go-round or the antique auto ride.
Calico Square Shooting Gallery doesn't sound familiar. I wonder where that was.
Luckily, I don't have to wonder because right behind the ticket is a map of the old Knott's Berry Farm ghost town.
According to this vintage map, which is very detailed,
the Shooting Gallery would be right next to the Calico Mine Ride, right across from the log ride.
I don't remember there ever being a shooting gallery over there, but might as well check.
Let's go see what we can see.
See, I love finding stuff like this because it's usually the thing that starts my train of thought, if you will,
and leads me on to having some kind of adventure. Today's adventure? See if there's still a shooting gallery.
But first, a look at one of Walter Knott's old trains.
Look at that. You know, I always think that it was riding this train over here of Walter Knott's that made Walt Disney go, well, why can't I have my own theme park and train set?
I mean, there were other factors, but you know that had to be one of them.
Okay, shooting gallery. Shooting gallery. Well, there's the Calico Mine Ride over there. Here's the log ride over here. I do not see a shooting gallery.
I do see a Panda Express, which I used to think was like a Holiday Inn Express.
I thought if I ate here that I would feel smarter, but
turns out they don't have gluten-free food, so I ate here and I just felt sicker.
Well, we can't do the shooting gallery. Maybe we could do Mott's Miniatures. Now, Mott's was a family-owned miniature shop and museum that was located down here next to the Birdcage Theater.
Well, I love miniatures, so I can't wait to see this.
All right, Birdcage Theater and... Huh?
Nothing. No Mott's Miniatures Museum.
All that's here today is the old school and the new old playground. Huh.
Ooh, a quick look at the Mott's Miniatures website says that they were kicked out of Knott's Berry Farm in 1992.
Sounds like the Knott family and the Mott family
have got themselves an old-fashioned feud.
I'm gonna get you, you two-timing Knott. You watch your mouth, you dirty Mott.
I'm confused. Which one am I? Well, Mott, Knott, he said, she said. The point is, it's gone now, so we can't do that.
Ah, they're forming a posse over here in Ghost Town.
I cannot tell you how angry and upset I am at these heathen interlopers, the Mayfields, for disrupting this festive day of celebration, a day in which we honor those who have made this town great.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think we know that you're running for re-election.
Ugh, I can't handle politics.
Politics, schmolitics. It's too confusing. Alright, so what can we do? Looks like we have two things left. In Fiesta Village, we can either do the merry-go-round or the antique auto ride.
Now the antique auto ride sounds pretty good.
That was one of the early attractions at Knott's Berry Farm, back when this place was still an actual berry farm.
Walter Knott may have built Ghost Town, but initially putting rides in his park, thrill rides especially, was not on his mind at all.
It was outside vendors, outside concessionaires, outsiders who brought rides to Knott's Berry Farm.
Especially a guy by the name of Bud Hurlbut, which you probably haven't heard of, who built miniature trains and miniature rides and attractions, especially here at Knott's Berry Farm. And what he would do is, he would build and operate the attraction here at Knott's Berry Farm, pay Walter Knott a fee, and the rest of the money would go to him.
The antique auto ride was one of those old-timey little car rides, kind of like the old Midget Autopia at Disneyland.
Cute little cars that a little kid could sit in with his mom. There'd be two little steering wheels so you could both get in on the action.
It started as just old-timey cars, but it was later re-themed to fit in with Fiesta Village a little better.
And the ride was renamed the Tijuana Taxi.
Unfortunately for us today, Fiesta Village was later completely revamped with more exciting rides.
Like this thing that looks like absolute death.
No, thank you.
Or my favorite, the Mexican hat dance.
They're like Disneyland's teacups, but with Mexican large hats on top. Wow.
Sadly, as you may have guessed, the Tijuana Taxi is no longer here at Knott's Berry Farm. But we can ride the Mexican hat dance. Here we go. Well, it's a little faster than the teacups.
It's more like a tilt-a-whirl. Oh my gosh, those Mexican hats are crazy!
This is exactly what I feared Mexico would be like!
No bueno! No bueno!
Oh, I shouldn't have had that burrito for breakfast. It's still going! Oh, I think that crazy sound means it's stopping. Oh, it's stopping.
This thing has been stopping for like 2 minutes. It takes forever to stop. When will the madness end?
This is loco!
Seriously. It just won't come to a complete stop.
There it goes. Oh.
I think I would have preferred the Tijuana Taxi.
Oh, I feel like I just had some Tijuana tequila. Wow.
Anyway, like I was saying,
The Tijuana Taxi, which was a gentle, mild fun ride, is no longer here.
it was replaced in the mid-'80s by what is now the Wave Swinger.
Which is this terrifying death trap right here.
As you may or may not have guessed, I'm not really a fan of heights.
So I'm sure this ride is perfectly safe, but it doesn't feel safe to me. I don't like it.
It is pretty cool though. Look at those murals of Old Mexico up there and Old Mexican.
I'm definitely gonna be a Mexicant and Knott ride this.
But this is the spot where Tijuana Taxi was once located, which was the antique auto ride. And as you can see, it's got a very small footprint here.
So as you can imagine, that ride wasn't all that big.
Now, interestingly enough, just because this is here does not mean that the old antique auto ride was destroyed.
Towards the end of his life, Bud Hurlbut took some of his attractions, like the antique auto ride, and moved them out to Riverside and opened up his own theme park called Castle Park.
And from what I understand, the antique auto ride is still out there operating to this very day.
So that's cool. It means we can still ride the antique auto ride, just, you know, not right now.
By the way, I'm talking over it, but do you notice the background music here at Knott's Berry Farm?
This is one of those things that's a huge dislike for me personally in the theme park. I don't want to hear top 40 music.
Especially in a themed area like Fiesta Village, wouldn't you think you'd be hearing some, like, I don't know,
Salsa music or maybe some mariachi or something?
well, that's pretty much everything on the ticket, except for in Fiesta Village, the merry-go-round.
Well, it's been moved around, but I'm happy to report that Knott's Berry Farm's merry-go-round is still here.
Although I've never been sure why it isn't called the berry-go-round. Okay, over here, you can see this historic sign.
It's a very rare, very old Denzel merry-go-round.
They were manufactured by the Denzel family from 1867 to 1928, and fewer than 2 dozen remain today.
I never knew this, but apparently the Knott's Berry Farm carousel was once located at Hershey Park in Hershey, Pennsylvania.
It was brought here in 1955 and moved to this spot in 1987, about the time Tijuana Taxi disappeared.
I love this carousel. It's so funky looking.
Actually, I shouldn't call it a carousel. It is, in fact, a merry-go-round because it includes other animals.
A carousel is all horses.
A merry-go-round is whatever you want it to be. And I want it to be an ostrich. Look at that.
Dude, this thing is awesome. I went in on that goat action.
Look at this lady here. She's on the sled. What a fun one.
Ah, my voice is getting all squeaky. I'm losing my voice. I'm so excited.
Luckily, I've got my silver dollar B ticket for some fun adventures.
Which one should I get? I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Ostrich, camel, bear, lion,
Bunny.
this cat, dog thing with a dead bird, a giant rooster.
Some kind of reindeer?
A zebra.
So many horses. I don't want a horse.
Sexy goat.
Wait a minute. I know what I'm gonna get on. Today, I'm gonna be riding
The giant pig. What a fun one. Fun pig.
This is awesome.
You can see how old these things are and that they're made of carved wood.
Which makes me wonder, would you like to ride on a pig or Knott?
It's an old joke, but it'll do.
I like this better than the hat dance, believe me.
Nothing more gentle and soothing than riding on a pig.
My pig has large tusks.
Ugh, look at the size of those. I like my pig better than this one. This one thinks he's Babe Pig in the city. Up. Looks like we're coming to a stop. That's the end of our ancient carousel ride for the day.
That'll do, pig. That'll do.
It's so weird.
I tried to give my ticket to that guy there, and he said that once you pay for admission now, all the rides are free.
Which means that this darn thing doesn't work at all.
Oh well, the ticket book may be useless to get on rides these days, but it is still awesome to look at.
Back in the day, I'm sure every kid was longing for a Bonanza fun book.
My favorite part about this is definitely the artwork. The little cowboy on there is pretty awesome.
And the little family on the train here on the back is kind of one of my favorite pieces of art ever, ever, ever.
Crazy, if you look at this on the back, it says this right here was a $3 book. The value was $4.35, but this cost $3 for admission to Knott's Berry Farm and 6 adventures, which I'm assuming means 6 rides.
So admission and 6 rides for $3.
That's a heck of a deal.
I don't think you can even get lunch for $3 anywhere these days. Well, that's pretty much that.
I don't think there's anything else I can say about this particular ticket book.
Ghost Town's 75th anniversary celebration ends on September 5th.
And Knott's is about to get the Halloween makeover for Knott's Scary Farm, aka Halloween Haunt.
So things are gonna look really different around here really soon.
So I'm glad I had a chance to pop in here and explore the old ticket book before all that stuff happened.
I'm also glad they still have this old, very loud waterfall cave here in Camp Snoopy.
This was like one of my favorite things as a kid, to come inside of the cave, Tom Sawyer Island caves, or Knott's Berry Farm's cave.
Oh, this is so cool. They still have the pontoon bridges out here to cross. Whoa!
I always liked these. What I didn't like was the old rope bridge.
They used to be up here. I go all the way across over to Knott.
The good old fun swinging rope bridge.
It was never a favorite of mine, so I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't really miss that.
It is pretty weird though. I wonder why they took that out.
Anyway, time to make my way out of Knott's Berry Farm. The ticket book thing's pretty neat, right? I've never even seen a picture of one of those things before this past year.
Now I've been looking all over the internet, all this different stuff about these ticket books.
Still haven't even seen a photograph of one that's complete that still has the admission on the front. But man, these things are cool. Love that 60s artwork.
No, by the way, there doesn't appear to be a date on this ticket book. The way I figured out what year it's probably from is this list of attractions here on the little map of Knott's Berry Farm.
Which reminds me of something else that I just learned.
Come here, I'll show you. Over the years, I've had a couple different Disneyland ticket books, either that I found somewhere or that people have sent to me, and by the way, I cannot get enough of those things. Well, Disneyland was selling tickets and ticket books from 1955 up till 82 or 83, which is almost 30 years. And I've always wondered, how can you tell how old a particular ticket book is? So here's the coolest thing. Jake from Portland, Oregon sent me this letter. And with his letter came this Disneyland ticket book, the one that I've been showing you. I almost always want to say ticket booth every single time. I'm like, look at my ticket booth. This is not a booth. This is a book. A booth is where they sell the book. Anyway, Jake sent this letter to me and said, if you didn't know, the way you can quickly date the books is by looking on the bottom of the last page, Adventures in Disneyland, which is this whole list of all the different rides organized by the lands: Main Street, Tomorrowland, Fantasyland, Frontierland, New Orleans Square, and Adventureland. Okay, so he says right before Globe Tickets, which is the name of the company that printed the tickets, there is a 3-digit number. That would be this number right there. The first 2 digits are the year, the third is the month. Mine says 715, which would be 1971, the 5th month of 1971, which means that this ticket book here was printed in May of 1971. And Knott's Berry Farm doesn't have the Globe Ticket Company logo on it, so I'm not sure if this one was printed by the Globe Company yet. They were eventually printed by the exact same company as Disneyland. It's hard to tell. The watermark looks a little different. Oh, it looks like the same logo is actually on the Knott's Berry Farm ticket. On the back of this ticket looks the same as the Globe logo, but it's not legible on this one. But look at the watermark on the paper. Very similar. Anyway, that is how you date a Disneyland ticket book. Not, you know, ask it to prom, but that's how you tell what date it was printed, when it's from. 1971 on this bad boy. This one, according to all the information I can find online, this Knott's one would have been 69 or 70 at the latest. So 1970, 71, those are pretty close in age. Anyway, huge thank you to you, Jake, for teaching me a fact that I did not know. And for sending me this Disneyland ticket book, which I cannot get enough of. Did I say booth? I said book. I said book, right? Ugh. Freaking awesome. The Disneyland ticket booth book. Ticket book. All right, I got a bunch more mail that I've received recently that I will get to, I hope, in another video adventure with you guys. Literally a whole huge box of it there. But before I go, I just want to share with you, you guys remember those Disneyland Now and Then videos I was doing, or Then and Now, whatever it is, where I show the old pictures that you guys have sent me of Disneyland and then show what it looks like today? By the way, if you have any Knott's ones, send them my way. Well, you might remember a certain hat in the background of Disneyland Then and Now #2, the Donald Duck hat. Dude, you guys, look at this cap in real life. This one's from Walt Disney World, so this has to be at least from 1971, but it looks about the same as that 1968 Donald Duck hat from that other video. Look at the beak on this guy, look at the little hat. Now, unfortunately, this is definitely a child's sized hat, so it doesn't quite fit me, but I really wish it did, because it's a good look for me. Look at this! The beak squeaks! Good freaking times. After I watched that video, and someone confirmed to me that that was in fact a Donald Duck hat, and the bill used to squeak, I knew that I needed to have one. I mostly just wanted to show you guys one of these old, vintage, honestly kind of creepy Donald Duck hats. I'm taking London to Walt Disney World soon, so maybe I can convince him to wear this, huh? Hey, London.
Yeah?
I got you this sweet Walt Disney World hat to wear the whole time we're at Disney World. Does it fit you?
No.
Well, there goes that idea. eBay it is. Alright, well, this hat will probably be up on eBay pretty soon. Keep an eye on my Twitter, Justin Scard. I'll probably do something about it on there. I also have Instagram,
Live Fast Die Poor is my name on Instagram. Let's see, Snapchat I got Snapchat Live Fast Die Poor. I have a Patreon, so if you like these videos and you want to contribute and help me make more of them, keep the show on the road, you can do $1 a month or more, or whatever you want. Patreon.com/JustinScard. Or if you want one of these cool hats, the R stands for adventure, livefastdiepoor.spreadshirt.com, which is also where my t-shirts are. I'll put this stuff down below. And that's about it. Thank you for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me, you guys. I really like you a lot.
We'll have to leave the mail for next time. And next time, maybe we can talk about this broken flux capacitor.
I've been trapped in 2016 for what feels like forever.
All right, just by watching this video, you've done your duty.
You can go home and sleep well.
Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Knott, for all the fun.